welcome everybody to our travel talk show for today. This afternoon, we are going to do a tour info session, and our tour that we are going to have a good close look at is our Niagara Falls and Niagara on the Lake short getaway, which is coming up this fall. So this is a great opportunity if you kind of want to get away, but you're not really sure you're ready for a big overseas tour and you want to kind of stay within North America. This might be a great option just to give you kind of a long weekend getaway. So let's have a look at the tour itself and everything that is included. First, a little bit about us. So we're the Women's Travel Club. We do small group tours for women all over the world. Most of our travelers will come to us as solo travelers, so coming by themselves and not really knowing everybody till they get on the tour. And generally that first night we have a dinner together, everybody gets to know everybody, and then you're just traveling with a group of friends. Is a great way to make travel friends. A lot of the women that travel with us have made friends on other tours and continue to book tours and travel together. So it is a really good way to make some friends that you can travel with and keep forever. I'm Marianne Sothol. I am head of the marketing department, and you usually hear me on all of these travel talk shows. And I am here with Irene Murray, and Irene is in charge of operations. So she is who usually answers the phone or the chat. So a lot of times when you call into the Women's Travel Club for anything, she is who you are going to be talking to. So a lot of you that have traveled with us or have bookings with us and have been in contact with our office probably have had chats with Irene and know Irene. We will do questions, but we're going to keep questions to the end. So you will notice that you have a little kind of menu bar. It might be at the side of the screen. It might be at the bottom of your screen. On your menu bar, you'll have one little button that says Q&A. That's for questions and answers. So if you think of a question as we're going along, you can type it in there. And at the end of the presentation, we'll go through there and read any questions that have come up and try our best to answer them for you. If you just want to chat, if you want to say hi to everybody else on the platform, or if you want to say hi to Irene and chat with her, because she's going to man the chat for us while we're going through the presentation, you can write just a quick hello in the chat. You'll notice also when you go to write in the chat, there is a button that says you can write just to the presenters. So if you just have something specific you want to say to Irene, because I won't be watching it, but to Irene you can. Or if you want something, you just want to go and say hi to everybody or have a comment that you think would be good for everybody to see, you can click the little presenters and attendees, and then everybody can see what you type in there. Also at the end, we will give an opportunity if you want to actually come on and speak and ask your question. You can raise your hand, so there'll be a little button and just say raise your hand, and we see that, and then we can open up your microphone. So at the end you can come on and say hello. Okay, so let's have a look at where we are concentrating on. So we're going right down into the Great Lakes area here, and Niagara Falls and Niagara Lake are going to be right here, and they're going to be on the border between Ontario and New York. And a little bit closer look here, you'll see Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. So Niagara Falls is just kind of right here. If you can see my cursor, can you see that? Here, I can use a little pointer. Use our pointer. So there you can see right about there, and then we just follow the parkway down, and Niagara Lake is right here, right at kind of the mouth of the Niagara River, right on Lake Ontario. Niagara Falls is approximately 12,000 years old. The falls were formed when melting glacier waters flowing from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario and carved out a river in their descent. The river passed over the steep Niagara escarpment and began to erode its way back, leaving behind what is known today as the Niagara Gorge. Niagara Falls erodes back approximately 1 foot per year. So you have to hurry up and get there, or else it's going to end up being in Fort Erie one day. More than 168,000 cubic meters of water goes over the crest line of the falls every minute during peak daytime tourist hours. The falls are 57 meters tall. Niagara Falls is actually made up of 3 waterfalls: the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, and the Canadian Horseshoe Falls. The word Niagara comes from the First Nations word Oniwinara, which many believe means thunder of waters, and was used to first describe the beauty and power that is Niagara Falls. I'm very excited to introduce you to this Niagara Falls Getaway. While the falls may be the star of the show, you don't want to miss the supporting cast. It's equally as amazing. Our tour starts right at the falls, which you will see from every angle. From your hotel room, which is next to the falls, from the Hornblower cruise as you feel the mist and hear the roar, or even from above on the Skywheel. We will head from Niagara Falls down the beautifully gardened Niagara Parkway to Niagara On The Lake, Niagara's hidden gem. Experience the old town feel in this quaint village and enjoy its most famous product on a full day wine tour. When you arrive, you can either arrive to Pearson International Airport in Toronto or to Buffalo International Airport in Buffalo, New York. Either way, you'll be transferred from the airport to our hotel in Niagara Falls. Our hotel in Niagara Falls is the Radisson Hotel and Suites Falls View. This hotel was chosen for its excellent location right in the heart of the action on Falls View Boulevard, with an excellent view of the falls themselves. The Radisson is a lovely hotel with great amenities, including a heated indoor pool. Even your room will have a spectacular view of the falls. So you can see the little picture here with the room and the beautiful view you have right from your room of the falls. You don't even have to leave your room. So the first night, we're going to get together for a welcome dinner to get better acquainted. After the dinner, you might want to check out Clifton Hill, which is just a short walk away. Clifton Hill is Niagara's top destination for attractions, restaurants, entertainment, and more. Located just 1 block to the Horseshoe Falls along the Niagara River, the Street of Fun is a must-see, even if it's just to witness the excitement and people watch. Clifton Hill's exciting array of attractions include the latest and most exciting addition of the Niagara Speedway and the Niagara Skywheel, Canada's largest giant wheel, providing you with views like no other of Niagara Falls. And we really recommend you do, if you're not too leery of heights, get on the Skywheel while you're in Niagara Falls. It's going to give you a great view of not only the falls, but of all the surrounding areas in Niagara Falls. It's a really, really good attraction. And then after you've kind of wandered up and down Clifton Hill, make your way to the bottom of the hill and you can see the falls all lit up in brilliant color and witness a fantastic fireworks show. On our first day, we'll get to see the falls up close. We'll start with the journey behind the falls visit. To stand at the heart of Niagara, you'll first need to descend 125 feet and explore 130-year-old tunnels through the bedrock, but you'll feel the thunderous vibration of the Horseshoe Falls long before you see them. The observation deck at the foot of this 13-story tall wonder will leave you breathless and maybe a little wet, but don't forget the viewing portals cut straight through the rock, offering a once-in-a-lifetime view of 1/5 of the world's fresh water crashing down in front of you. Next, we'll board the Hornblower to get a close-up view from a different angle. Enjoy stunning views of the Niagara Gorge, American Falls, and Bridal Veil Falls, and then come face to face with the famous Canadian Horseshoe Falls. Feel the thundering roar, awesome power, and amazing mist that come along with these natural wonders. A visit to Niagara Falls wouldn't be complete without seeing the beautifully landscaped Niagara Parks. Our first garden is Victoria Garden at the base of Clifton Hill. And you can see how close it is because this is right at the bottom of Clifton Hill and you can see the falls just peeking through right there. Then we're going to go on to Dufferin Islands and we'll explore this 10 acres of paradise where wooden footbridges connect small secluded islands. And if you like flowers and gardens, you're going to love the Floral Showcase. With 3 main display houses, a stunning tropical foyer, and a life-on-display miniature village collection. The Niagara Parks Floral Showcase features several floral shows each year, celebrating major holidays, community events, and the beauty of nature. Don't miss the incredible collections of orchids, succulents, and other tropical plant species on display year-round. Before we continue on to Niagara Lake, let's have a quick overview of everything there's to see and do in Niagara Falls. To get to Niagara Lake, we will work our way down the Niagara River Parkway. This is a beautiful route and we have some interesting stops along the way. Our first stop is the Whitewater Walk, a boardwalk that runs along the Whirlpool Rapids. Experience a first-hand lesson in the raw power and peril of the Niagara River's Class 6 Whitewater Rapids. The roar of the river provides a deceptive calmness, the perfect ambiance for your walk along the main viewing platforms that put you right at the river's edge. We will travel down by elevator to the base of the gorge. As you step out from the exit tunnel, you will immediately be immersed in the soothing roar of the Niagara Gorge. We will make our way down the boardwalk to get an excellent view of the 410 million-year-old rock layers of the Niagara Gorge. Our next stop is another one for the garden lovers, the Niagara School of Horticulture. Niagara Parks School of Horticulture is both an educational institution and a public botanical garden that is maintained by dedicated staff and students with a united objective to educate, cultivate, and preserve ornamental plants. The botanical garden spreads across almost 100 acres with pathways, plants, ornamental trees, and ponds. This is also home to the Butterfly Conservatory. Step inside one of the largest glass-enclosed butterfly conservatories in North America and explore a tropical garden oasis. Admire the beauty of over 2,000 vibrantly colored butterflies fluttering freely around you as you explore 180 meters of winding pathways adorned with lush vegetation and trickling waterfalls. Finally, welcome to beautiful and historical Niagara on the Lake. One of the best preserved 19th century towns in North America, affluent Niagara Lake is an undeniably gorgeous place with tree-lined streets, lush parks, and impeccably restored houses. Originally a neutral First Nations village, the current town was founded by loyalists from New York State after the American Revolution, later becoming the first capital of the colony of Upper Canada. Today, lovely Queen Street teems with shops of ye old variety selling antiques, Brit-style souvenirs, and homemade fudge. You have the afternoon free to explore this quaint town, so you might want to take in a Shaw Festival performance while you're there. Our hotel while in Niagara Lake is the very impressive Prince of Wales Hotel, located right on the main street. You couldn't ask for a better location. The Prince of Wales Hotel, first built in 1864, stands as a historical landmark in Niagara on the Lake. Named in honor of a visit by the Duke and Duchess of York in 1901, a stay at this hotel is an indulgence in Niagara royalty. Step inside the Prince of Wales and you'll experience intricate inlaid floors, bespoke works of art, and romantic signature roses. You will fall in love with your surroundings as the hotel speaks to an appreciation for the finer things in life. Welcome to wine country. Niagara on the Lake is home to some of the oldest and most established wine producing vineyards in Canada. The wineries have been growing and producing world-class wines from vinifera varietals for more than 4 decades. The efforts of pioneer winemakers in this region were instrumental in propelling Canada into the world's wine stage and positioning Niagara on the Lake as a premium wine growing region. Today, we'll embark on a full day of wine touring. Our full day of wine touring is a fascinating look inside the wine industry. Even if you don't drink wine, you will enjoy this day. We go from the vineyards to the cellars, learning what goes into a good bottle of wine. You might even try your hand at blending and bottling your own vintage. We will enjoy lunch and treats along the way. The fall is the best time for wine tours as it's harvest time and the wineries are a buzz of activity. So let's go over everything that is included in this little short getaway that we have. It's 5 nights deluxe accommodation. So it's going to be 3 nights in Niagara Falls at the Radisson and then 2 nights at the beautiful Prince of Wales Hotel, a real destination hotel in Niagara on the Lake. Your airport transfers, and that was either from Toronto Pearson Airport or from the Buffalo Airport. Breakfast daily, 2 lunches and 2 dinners. Visit to Clifton Hill. Journey behind the falls. The Hornblower cruise. The Floral Showhouse, the Riverside Boardwalk, Niagara School of Horticulture visit, our full day of wine touring, all your gratuities, so you don't have to worry about reaching in your pocket and looking for small bills every time we have a ride somewhere or stop for something. So only gratuities you would have to pay would be on any expenses not included in the tour. English speaking guide, and of course your Women's Travel Club tour host. So this is happening September 29th to October 4th. Again, it's a perfect opportunity if you want to get away somewhere without having a big overseas trip. If you're just not ready to travel too far abroad yet, but you really would like to get somewhere and to actually get out somewhere, this is a great opportunity. And a beautiful time of year. It's just beautiful in Niagara at the end of September. It should not be too hot, but it's certainly going to be warm enough to be quite comfortable, and just with the colors maybe starting to change. And again, the harvest time for the wine industry is a great time to be here. Our double occupancy rate is $28.99 Canadian per person, so that's sharing a room. And if you want to take advantage of that rate, would like us to match you with a roommate, we can definitely do that. And this works out right now with the current exchange rate to about $2,300 US. Our single occupancy, so that's going to give you your own room throughout the tour, it's $35.99. And that's approximately $2,900 US. And that is our little show for today. Kind of short and sweet. The short getaways kind of go through those pretty quickly. But if you have any questions or just want to have a comment or just want to come on and chat with us, we have lots of time today, so feel free to come on and say hello.
It's very quiet, actually. Marianne, one thing I will do is send the link for the...
Oh, for the tour. Oh, thank you. She'll put that in the chat for you. So if you want to click on it and see all the details, you can see them there.
And a question from somebody that if they don't require the airport transfer, will that save them any costs?
You know what? I don't know. I don't work in the tour development, but that's a great question. So if you don't, we could I would think we could. If you send us a message kind of privately, or Irene can take down your information and we will check with the tour department and we can let you know kind of what that savings might be if you don't need that transfer.
Okay, Diane, so just make sure you send us, even in chat right now, just to the panelists, send me your email address and I'll get you the information. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, and oh, somebody who obviously knows their wineries.
Oh.
But Shirley's asking which wineries are included in the tour. Would Debbie be the person to give us that information?
Yes, I don't have the exact list of wineries. I can tell you what I would guess. We're going to have, usually what we do is at least one major winery. So that's going to be maybe a, Jackson Triggs, Inniskillen, or Hildebrand. So usually one of those kind of major big wineries. And a lot of times that's where we do our tours because they're kind of set for that. And then we'll have a selection of some smaller wineries, which is really good because I do a lot of wine tours, either just hosting Women's Travel Club tours. We do a lot of wine touring. And I also do some private wine tours because I very much like wine. So I can tell you, it's nice to see the big, huge wineries, the names you know. The smaller wineries are just, they're almost more fun to visit because you get that little bit more personal attention. A lot of times you're talking to the winemaker at those wineries and learning a little bit more. And also it's great to taste some wines that you maybe would never taste or you can't get. A lot of Niagara wines are very small vintages, so they're not produced enough to be exported. And that is why Niagara's kind of this little known wine industry. It obviously is worldwide known, but a lot of our vintages are so small that we're not exporting a lot of wine. So the only way that if you're not from this area that you can taste some of our great wines here is to actually come here. We're also known for ice wine. In fact, ice wine with just one word can only be used to describe wine from Canada, from this area. It's kind of like champagne is only from the Champagne region. Everybody else has sparkling wine. Ice wine, as in the title ice wine with no spaces, is only from here. You can get ice wine from other places in the world, but that ice wine title like that is specific to Niagara. And what else can I tell you about that? And sometimes they'll include we have a lot of little craft breweries or distilleries, and sometimes one of those might be thrown in. But it's usually a really good selection. And again, if you want to put your email privately in the chat to Irene, we can definitely give you the list of exactly where we will be going.
Thank you. Okay, a couple of questions then, Marianne. Group size, is it usually 8 to 15?
Yes, and
okay.
this is the same. So nice small group, lots of room on our little minibus that takes us around, and just a nice, easy group. And I don't think this will be a huge group. So I would say probably in the 10 to 12 women kind of range for this group.
Okay, and Stephanie, you have a message here. It's actually confusing because we don't have a trip in June. Perhaps somebody else, perhaps you've been looking at somebody else's. So this is our only trip for Niagara Falls, Niagara on the Lake, Canada in 2021. I hope that answers your question. So it's saying is the itinerary similar to the trip scheduled in late June?
Oh, okay, yes. Sorry, this is our only, but if you do click again on the link in the chat, you can see the full itinerary kind of written out day by day.
Oh, Stephanie's, okay, thank you. Yeah, does anybody want to come on and talk to us, chat with us? Actually, Marianne was talking about the wineries, and I've had the good fortune in many respects to live in the Niagara on the Lake area for a number of years. And I've watched the cottage winery industry just blossom.
Oh, yeah.
It has. So it's not just the larger Constellation brands that have, obviously they have those major wineries, but the small ones are certainly holding their own with the quality of the wine.
Oh, yeah. And it's a big industry in Niagara. Like, we've walked up like one of the major roads, and you could just walk from winery to winery. There's so many. And just spend your day, and it's easy, and there's lots of like bike tours and such. So it's very much kind of an area that you would feel with like Napa or Sonoma or the Okanagan. It's even actually, I've been to the Okanagan wine area, and it's a little closer knit than that. So even a little like winery after winery, so a little bit closer, not as spread out as the Okanagan, but it definitely big industry in Niagara Lake, and it's really become what they are about.
It's also interesting, when Niagara on the Lake won an award for, I think, the most beautiful town in Canada. That's a few years ago, but they really do pride themselves on the landscape of the old town itself. And where you saw the Prince of Wales, I was walking by there just yesterday because I was shopping locally, support the locals. And that's what the main street is, Queen Street, is just lots of independent little shops who rely on locals and tourism to keep them going. But, you know, I can't say enough about it in that respect. But certainly in the height of the season, it gets busy, but the shoulder season, late September, October, good time to be there.
Yeah, it's a very nice time. It's quite a difference from the heart of Niagara Falls to the heart of Niagara Lake. You would really see it. The Niagara Falls being very, you know, glitzy and glam and kind of very touristic, and also like a lot of big name hotels and you know, the casinos there. So it's a much kind of bigger, busier area, although they do a great job with the parks and keeping beautiful landscaping and flowers and such. But then you go down into Niagara Lake, and it's very small town, quaint kind of feel, and just, yeah, quite different going from one to the other.
Great place to walk around.
Both are good walking areas.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, the Parkway. I'm not even sure of the scope of Parks Canada. They actually take responsibility for the stretch of the Niagara Parkway, which I thought you might have mentioned how far that went. But they truly do maintain that stretch of property, and it's quite idyllic, and it's certainly, it's a pleasure to be on.
And there's a pathway. If you wanted to walk from Niagara Falls to Niagara Lake, you could.
Go for it.
It might take you a while, but you could.
Easier on a bike, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And Kathy had pointed out to me, I did fix it though. When I first sent the link to the tour page, I left the L off, so it's HTML, but I did I resent it to everybody. I hope they get to read that.
Oh, perfect. And we will follow up with a little email to the recording and a link to the page and such, as we usually do after the travel talk shows.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you found it interesting seeing our little neck of the woods here in Niagara Falls and Niagara Lake. We enjoyed kind of showing you around a bit. Thank you, Irene, for joining and manning the chat. We look forward to next week's travel talk, same place, same time. So it's going to be 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon next week. And next week we're going to Iceland.
Yeah, so make sure you sign up, please. That's my tour, and I'm looking forward to being there with you. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the presentation. I'm not so much looking forward to some of the names,
Yeah.
practicing some of my schlockels and schwashes, and but I am the scenery's amazing. So I hope that makes up for the mispronunciations.
I'm going to get to laugh at you next week.
Yes, you will, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Hope the weather's beautiful where you are, because it certainly is beautiful here. And if it is, go outside and enjoy it.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Great. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.